What's up, everybody?
What's up, Facebook? How y'all doing today? We're feeling, I don't know what Lave's feeling got into, but he's feeling a little extra extroverted today, man. What's up, man? You get energy. We're talking about energy.
We're talking about energy. I'm not necessarily feeling extroverted. It's like, I think I'm right before a sugar crash. You know how your kids get super hyped
that last little bit.
I'm going to probably pass out halfway through the video. So if that happens, Kevin, just keep going.
Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about keeping your energy levels up. I know just being out in the world and out and about, this is one of the things that's kind of near and dear to my heart, that it's essential, it is highly essential that we keep our energy levels up and that we guard our energy levels as much as we can. There's so many things going on in life in this world, this dynamic, highly volatile world that we live in. Yes. You know, you got to live life, you got to pay bills, you got to take care of the kiddos, you got to take care of the spouse, you got to dodge the New World Order, you got to dodge the Illuminati. I mean, you got to do all this kind of stuff. I don't know what you got to do, but there's a lot of things going on. So it's essential, it's vital that we do what we can to make sure that we stay energetic, full of life, motivated, inspired, encouraged, vigorous. Yes. I like that, vigorous. That we stay on the move, stay in beast mode.
What's up, Mwando? What's up, bro?
What's up, Mwando?
How you doing, man?
Glad that you joined the Knights of Round Table. Talking about good night kings. But this is something I've been thinking about today. A few things kind of got us on this line is, you know, me and Leif was conversating about, you know, the trip that transpired. Yep. And, you know, we had talked when you first got back. You said, I'm cool, I'm fine. And then that's when the jet lagging.
Oh, man. I thought I was good. Kevin said, you have any jet lag? I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. Went to the house. It was a wrap. I didn't leave the house for 2 days.
I said that lagging must have been really lagging, but I know how I can get once it hits.
My lag was on lag.
His lag was on lag. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. The lag's on lag, man. You know it's bad. Dang, man, I'm a rapper, man, for real.
No,
okay.
Just leave
but seriously, this is one of the things that we got to be mindful of in today's world. And that there's a lot of things out there that can zap your energy. And this is very vital to, in the personal development community, I hear this talk a lot about energy. And it's very prescient that this talk is brought to the forefront. It's continually kept on our minds because, you know, just being out and about, I see a lot of people that are doing a lot of things that not so good well, that may in the short term be beneficial for you, but in the long term, it's taking away from your overall quality of life. It's shortening your life, and it's not doing the best for you. That if you use and incorporate other means, you'll help lengthen your life, help increase and intensify the quality of your life to a level that I think is almost superhuman. If I could say that. Okay. Supernatural.
Explain this to us.
Well, if you just do the things that your body is asking, that your body wants you to do, it helps you stay vibrant. You stay with respect to how most people are feeling today and living. You almost seem superhuman, and that people will be like, how is it that you stay so upbeat? You stay so encouraged. How is it that you stay so energized when I really don't see you? I don't see you drinking the coffee. I don't see you hitting the cigarette to get that little buzz of energy. Gotcha. I don't see you doing the crack to doing the cocaine line. I don't see you doing these other stimulants, or I don't see you drinking the sixth bottle of Red Bull or energy drink or whatever. But you always seem to be steady and just. I don't never see you get sick. You always stay in good shape. You're always upbeat. It seems like you're always a clear thinker. It seems like you always come up with these imaginative solutions when I just can't hardly think outside the box. And you always seem to be aware that there's more going on in this matrix than meets the eye. You know, you talk kind of woo-woo a little bit, but I can't go there. But I do come to you when I need some solutions, and I need to know that there's more to this life than meets the eye. You know, there are no atheists in foxholes, as the saying goes. So when life gets you down, sometimes those people that you would least expect to come to you for words of encouragement.
Okay. I see you,
like
Wando.
Like that. You seem almost supernatural. It's like, no, I'm just a regular human being. But we live in the state of affairs are so dire today that this seems to be the case. For example, one statistic that I always go to is that by 2030, it's in the U.S. Almost half of the population will be obese. That's astounding that we've flipped the pyramid in that people used to die from starvation. Now people are dying from overconsumption, having too many calories.
Okay.
So that's quite a feat in the world that we live in today. Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, I just want to add into what Mwando said. He started off with a good base in terms of how to maintain energy. It says willpower is the key, building that and maintaining it. Rest before your next challenge. Reward yourself. Think about someone with lots of self-control. And he said start with small willpower exercises and build from there. So yeah, just to touch base on some of the things that Mwando said. Always start with the base, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be small, like I always look at it like faith, right? You know, they say exercising your faith. You have to start with a little bit, right? The more you start having those small victories, then the more you can use that to power you and boost you into the next endeavor, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like always, and one is have a good memory. Have a memory that's good about the good things, and have a bad memory in terms of the bad things, right? So it's like if you're trying to take on a new problem, a new business, a new endeavor, a new journey, then you want to remember the victories that you've had in the past. Forget the defeats because it doesn't even matter. Those don't apply now. However, you only remember the lessons learned in those defeats, right?
Yeah.
But you got to start but you got to start small and you start building momentum. That's one way to get energy.
Man.
Yeah, and also sleep. Sleep is another way to get energy. And sometimes, it really depends on where you are in the journey. I know because sometimes sleep is something that you don't have. Yep. And it really depends on how busy you get. I definitely agree, Rocky. He said the foundation of human function is sleep. But here's the key thing, because I was actually doing some research on sleep this past week. And one of the key things is to make sure you get good quality sleep, right? Yeah. Getting good quality sleep helps you not have to sleep as long. A lot of times the reason why people need longer amounts of sleep is because their bodies are restless. And also understanding, definitely set goals, small victories. Also, you can't be doing that, man. Kevin's touching the wrong stuff. He's messing up our screen.
I need some more sleep.
Yes, Rocky, definitely. Quality sleep. I know that sometimes, like, I know it's bad to say, like, when I'm on a trip, I can sleep. It really depends on where I am on the trip. If I'm traveling with Lamar, sometimes I don't sleep as well. Yeah, that brother snores. But it just depends on where I am, and I can get better sleep only because I don't have to have interruptions from my kids during the night, those kinds of things, which makes me have the need to sleep longer and get groggy and those kinds of things. So I definitely agree with the quality sleep. Setting goals in terms of energy. Setting goals is a very powerful one.
Why is it powerful?
Why is it powerful? Because setting goals, again, this goes back to the small victories. You set your goals high, but set small victories along the way to make the journey worthwhile. Reward yourself along the way. I know Kevin does exercise, and he talks about this a lot. Reward yourself along the way. Say you're trying to lose 20 pounds, right? Say that's your goal. Say it's a fitness goal. Trying to lose 20 pounds, and the first week you may lose 5, or that's pretty lofty for some people. Say you lose 2 or 3. Reward yourself, but don't reward yourself with something detrimental. Reward yourself to give you a boost into the next week. So maybe instead of eating ice cream, you eat gelato or something like that that's less fat, less sugar, but it's still tasty and it still keeps you motivated. So doing little things like that along the way can, and also compliments. Maybe it's buying something. Maybe it's not even a dietary reward. Maybe it's something that's like, you know what? If I lose 10 pounds in these next 2 months, I'll go out and maybe I'll go see a movie. I'll reward myself with the movie because I don't want to break my finances, but I still want to reward myself along the way to let me know that I'm still in this battle. Okay, Rocky said also, Rocky's coming through with the good information.
Yeah,
tonight.
Rocky's on it tonight.
He said, pushing through sleep deprivation will create misery. Yeah, brother, you talking to the wrong person. I definitely understand that.
The good quality sleep is the key, the foundation. I actually got it written down. Sleep is something that's simple. It doesn't cost a lot, but a lot of people overlook the power the impact of good sleep on your energy levels. And we all have felt this whenever you go to, like you said, going to the hotel can be a great example in a lot of situations in which that you may or may not have those normal distractions where sometimes there's nothing like getting that good quality hotel sleep. Yeah. So what you want to do is recreate that in your own environment. You want to make your sleep area at your house a sanctuary. And there are some,
I got some tips for that too.
When we say good quality sleep, I was going to go into that. What does that exactly mean? And just from research, I've been following some people that have done some good research on this. Sean Stevenson over at the Model Health Show is one guy I've followed intensely about that. He spent his whole career, a lot of his career, talking about good sleep. And what is her name?
Anyway,
good quality sleep. Yeah. Sleeping in total, complete darkness. Yes. Sleeping with your cell phone preferably in another room. Sleeping with the temperatures preferably cool. And trying your best to get to sleep before 10 o'clock. I know it's easier said than done, but
it also depends on what your shift is and all those kinds of things. So that's definitely understood.
Yeah. These are guidelines. If you can work them in, just these are things you want to work towards. I had to work towards a lot of this stuff.
Yep.
For example, today I had a conversation with an anesthesiologist, and he worked night shift, third shift. And he drove to work. Yeah. It took him 2 hours.
Which is very dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Very dangerous. I used to work at a hospital, and I always thought it was stupid that they made doctors stay for long hours, especially at night, and then they would have to perform surgery. That's just
it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And this anesthesiologist said that it took him 2 hours to get to work, 2 hours to leave work, and then he was up with me while I was doing some work on his house. And he said that, and I'm like, dude, you need to get some sleep. And
smack him down.
But the one thing I noticed when I first met him, before he even said anything, energy exuberated from his body. I knew that this guy was a high energy dude.
Yeah.
And before he said anything, when I walked in his presence, I knew he was high energy. And we started talking. He's like, "Yeah, man, I don't know what it is."
It's just a rap song, Bilal. It's just a rap song.
I thought C was the cousin.
Yeah, it's just a rap song. Also, if you're a parent, one of the good things that I found that actually helps for my wife and I, put your kids on the schedule.
Yes.
Put them to bed earlier because I noticed the earlier I put my kids to bed, typically within the first hour or two is when they get up.
Yep.
So if I put them to bed about 2 hours before I go to sleep, then by the time I'm ready to go to bed, they won't wake up again until the morning. So that's another tip that I figured out for myself, getting our kids on the schedule.
And that's powerful for kids in general.
Yeah, definitely. Because kids definitely need more sleep because this is their development time. They're growing. So that's very important to make sure that you get your kids a lot of sleep. That's one thing that a lot of people deprive their children of.
Yep.
Especially like an overworked parent, you have to be very careful that you do not let your kids stay up late at night. Rocky talked about stimuli, people being overstimulated. You definitely have to start weaning them away from television, certain kinds of light, like blue lights and those kinds of things. It's been shown to be bad for sleep.
And an interesting thing on that, talking about the addictive stimulus, I seen a video the other day, yesterday, where I forgot his name. I can't say his name, but he was an executive at Facebook, and he's Chama. Yeah, him.
Chama. Yeah,
and
Chama.
he was just on. They was talking to him about so how much screen time and device time you give your children. He said 0, zilch, none. He said, and they said, for real? He's like, yeah, they get none of that in my house. He said, I make them go outside and I tell them to figure it out. And if they scrape their knee or whatever, figure it out.
Yeah,
it was just amazing.
And that's a good point as well. Exercise, if you have trouble sleeping, I know we're talking about energy. We'll definitely get back to the energy. But if you have trouble sleeping, exercise is a good way to get your body rested up. Make sure that you exert a lot of energy throughout the day. That actually helps you sleep better. And sometimes it can also be an indicator of how much energy you're not putting out if you can't go to sleep. So make sure that you get plenty of exercise. Make sure that you stay active and busy. Those kinds of things. Not necessarily just busy. That's a bad word.
Productive.
Stay productive. Get real active, and that way, when you do go to sleep, you can get a better quality of sleep.
Well, it lines up with energy in that when you exercise, you construct your being to be more efficient when it comes to energy. And one of the things you'll notice is that when you start moving, that you become more energized. That's the irony of it, is that when you sit on the couch, you get drained, you start sinking into the couch. But when you make that decision, when you actually make the move to get up and move around, one of the things you'll notice is you'll start becoming more vibrant and energized.
It's all in like posture. Sometimes posture can help exude energy. And if you're thinking about something, here's one of the things I found a way, getting back to the energy side or less from the sleep. One ways I found to make myself active or active in terms of doing a task or doing something when I feel tired is as soon as I think about it, boom,
stand up.
I'm up.
Yeah.
And I just started doing it because the longer I sit there and think about it, then the longer I'm just like,
it ain't gonna happen.
And it's just like, you know what? I'm good. When I get in that mood, my wife is like,
he's done.
Yeah, I'm toast. So make sure that you exude energy in your posture and the way you think, and just get on it, because it's just like with discipline, right? I always talk about discipline, especially when it comes to children. You have to like we have almost like a zero tolerance policy in our home. And what that means, I know it sounds actually worse than what it is. Mm-hmm. But what that means is if something is wrong, like for example, if one of our kids drops something or spills something, it's not a problem. But if there's an argument over something that's whether it be selfish or not getting along, then we address that immediately and not let it linger. Because if you let it linger, then it's like, all right, here, sit down. Then you start creating a routine of inactivity. Yeah. And when you create a routine of inactivity when it comes to discipline, then you become undisciplined yourself. So the undisciplined person is now trying to discipline somebody else that's undisciplined, and it just doesn't work.
It don't happen.
Yeah. We got some more comments.
Yep.
I have strength for all. Okay.